some people, perhaps many, it's hard to see who's here, know my story well. I haven't exactly kept it hidden under a bushel. And so, illicit drug use, injecting drug use, dependent injecting drug use, lots of variety of drugs has been a significant part of my life through my teens and my entire adult life. I've dedicated my entire adult life to fighting the injustices of the current drug laws and what they do to people who use drugs and how they diminish people and remove every tiny piece of social capital that they might ever acquire and crush them so that they are, but a tiny speck of what they potentially could be in the world. And those of us who manage to gather anything to ourselves generally do so well and truly, despite that situation, but certainly without any help from it. And so I, for one, I do want to speak to what Kat has raised, because I think it's very important that she has spoken up. And I would say what we need to be doing is all of us who use drugs and have used drugs, and whatever our situation is and however we came to it, and whether it's based on because of what happened to us when we were young, or whether it's because we just enjoy using drugs, or whatever it might be, it doesn't matter. We need to speak up, and we need all of you to support us to speak up. It's our voices you need to hear from more. I'm sick of hearing about the politicians, quite frankly. They only let us down. They've never done anything particularly constructive on this issue. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. And I don't think it's any longer time. Once upon a time, I've spent 30 years working on this issue too, and putting myself out there, and often seeing virtually nothing in return for that. And that has been slowly trying to, do the right thing, meet with politicians, work behind the scenes, do everything in the way that we've just been told we need to be doing it, and writing letters and, all the stuff, right? But let me tell you something about these drug laws that no one's talked about yet tonight, as far as I remember. We've talked about the Uluru Statement a lot, but our drug laws are fundamentally racist, a fundamentally racist proposition, and they always have been. And if you don't know that, you don't know your drug history and drug policy history, and you need to go and read it. But let me tell you, you just only need to look in your own backyard. Aboriginal Australian and Torres Strait Islander Australians use less drugs as a group than non-Indigenous Australians, but they are 10 times more likely to be incarcerated. They're probably something like 8 times more likely to overdose. And that picture is repeated in every single First Nations community across the world. So what does that say to you about the vested interests in keeping this system the way it is? This is not just about convincing a few politicians at home about what to do here. This is about a system that is entrenched, that is fundamentally rotten and moribund from its core. It needs to be dismantled from top to bottom, left to right, nothing left, and we need to start again. And I don't think it needs to be slow. I think we need to go as fast as we can possibly do it. And now that you know how racist the basis of our policies are, if we all stand for the sorts of things that we repeatedly stand up and say that we stand for, then we should demand these changes as quickly as possible, not in a slow, piecemeal way, not turning us from criminals into some sort of pathologised victims of the health service that, quite frankly, are some of the people who treat us the worst most of the time. So, we really need to start being more critical about these issues. I know that's a rant, but I've been sitting here a long time tonight to be able to say that.
Alex? Drug Policy Australia is a fully tax-deductible charity. If you'd like to help save our young people from the harms of prohibition, please visit the donation page on our website. Thank you.